Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Urban Update. I'm Byron Barnett. On the program today, we'll tell you about an event here in Boston that aims to bring together the Jewish state of Israel and Boston's African-American community. More on that in just a bit. Also on the show, Boston Speaks, an energetic and creative way to improve your communications, leadership, and business skills. That's later on the show. But up first, From Liberty to Magnolia, In Search of the American Dream, is the new book by Dr. Janice Ellis. It is the story of her personal pilgrimage of growing up black and a woman during the tumultuous times in America in the 1960s and 1970s. The book tells the story of how her life epitomizes the resulting Civil Rights Act and the Equal Rights Amendment have meant and haven't meant as she has lived through their maturation. From Liberty to Magnolia also addresses the two-pronged dilemma of being black and a woman. Dr. Ellis ponders the question of what people see first. Here to answer that question and others, let's now welcome Dr. Janice Ellis. Welcome to Urban Update. And I should point out, here's a look at your book, From Liberty to Magnolia. And I see a cover of a little girl on there, and that little girl is?
Yes.
The picture of is you. That's you.
Correct, yes.
Okay, all right. Well, Janice, let's begin with really what the heart of your book is about. Are you black and then a woman, or are you a woman and then black?
Well, I was born with those two indelible birthmarks. And while I am black and woman, I've had a remarkable life. And they have come into play in different times and periods of my life, one more dominant than the other in terms of whether I'm black or a woman. And really, it also shows a path. My life is an example of the lives of millions of blacks and millions of women as we have lived in America.
Why was it important for you to write this book?
Well, historically, being black and being a woman in America has been very challenging, and it continues to be today. We've made a lot of progress, but we have a long way to go. And so I wrote the book as a learning tool because I wanted to say to both women, blacks, and other minorities that irrespective of your birth, irrespective of your place, you can achieve.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of feedback have you gotten from your book?
Oh, it's been tremendous. I pour my life out in this book, and I do it in an unvarnished way, the good, the bad, starting when I was a child, growing up in Mississippi, the bastion of racism at the time. In the 60s, during the Civil Rights Act, you may know that there were obviously a lot of demonstrations all over the country, but Mississippi was the epicenter of it all. There were the home of the Klan. There were many murders just in trying to get blacks registered to vote.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share any more about your personal journey about growing up in a small wooden frame farmhouse in Mississippi?
Well, yeah. You know, the book is named after two towns, Liberty, Mississippi, and Magnolia, Mississippi. And my dad's farm, little small frame, 3-bedroom farmhouse, was located in between those two towns. And I grew up, obviously, in poverty. My dad had 7 kids, and he worked a factory job, $40 per week. And so I saw firsthand some of the racism there. The Klan burned crosses on my dad's lawn, simply because he was a member of the NAACP and was trying to help register blacks to vote. And of course, I went to segregated schools, bused past a white school to a segregated school. And I saw firsthand some of the indignities and oppression that my parents and my siblings suffered.
Imagine at some points in your life, did you feel that being black was more detrimental than being a woman? And that shifted at different times?
Yes, you know, probably during my adolescent years, teen years, and through college, black played the dominant role. I was one of 6 women who helped to integrate Millsaps College in Jackson, Mississippi, predominantly white college. And this was in the 60s, the class of 66. And so my color plate was more dominant there. For example, we would go into the cafeteria, and one day my roommate and I, we cleared 10 tables before someone would sit with us to eat. And so, and people would get off the sidewalk and so on. But as I went to graduate school, 6 months pregnant with my first son at the University of Wisconsin to earn both my master's and my PhD, my gender came into play. I had 2 professors to tell me that there was no way I would be able to complete my PhD and have a family.
Wow. What ways do you hope your book will be a teaching and a learning tool?
Well, what I did, again, my life is a microcosm of just an example of what millions of women and millions of blacks experience every day in America. And so I developed a study guide, a discussion guide that's in the book so that classes, group forums, community forums, book clubs, and individuals can use it to take away the real messages of the book as they believe in themselves.
And what do you, how does you think your life epitomize what the Civil Rights Act and the Equal Rights Amendment have meant and have not meant?
Well, in terms of civil rights, today, we've made progress, but when it comes to equality in the workplace, when it comes to equality in education, my heart bleeds when I think of so many schools that are still not equally endowed in terms of black children and minority children and white children. I hurt when I see minorities applying for jobs and you're judged before you even complete the interview. It happens all the time. And in terms of being a woman, I don't know if most people know, but the Equal Rights Amendment has been ratified by Congress since 1972, but it is still not a part of the U.S. Constitution because it fails to get 38 states to ratify it. So again, we have a long way to go. There's inequality, gender inequality, and racial inequality still in the workplace.
Finally and briefly, what would you tell this little girl on the cover of your book here?
Oh wow. I would tell her to keep dreaming, dream big, work hard. I believed as a little girl in all of America's dreams that if you work hard, prepare yourself, then you have an equal chance of achieving. And I would tell her, never give up and let no one define who she is.
Okay, and we'll leave it right there. The book is From Liberty to Magnolia, In Search of the American Dream. The author is Dr. Janice Ellis. Thank you for coming in. Good luck with the book, and it was just fascinating talking with you today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, coming up next, a unique event that looks to continue to fortify the relationship between the Jewish state of Israel and Boston's African American community. The details right here on Urban Update.